Hello, friends, and welcome to twitch.tv, David Burton Menace on TikTok, or David Burton Menace on YouTube. It is Tuesday night, December 16th, which means we are painting stuff tonight. We got our model ready. I took last week off, just because it was Mrs. Menace's birthday, and also, want to make sure I had a nice, good, solid week before jumping right back into things. Interesting, I had a couple follows recently that I wasn't even online for. That's pretty cool. Nice. Anywho, so we're going to be doing some model painting tonight, but on Thursday, we're going to be playing a horror video game, which I am super excited to play. Very excited to play. And we're going to have fun with it. But tonight, as I fumble to get my glove on, we're going to finish painting our little Oogie Boogie. And then we will go from there. So pull up a chair, hang out, maybe we'll tell some ghost stories or two, and we'll see how things go. But let's get started, shall we? Let's make sure build cam still looks good. He's an adorable Oogie Boogie. Thank you. Oh, see, I knew as soon as I go live, I don't know why. I really need someone who, either I need a new camera or I need someone who, I don't know why the exposure, there we go. Not a Tyrant. So where are you from, Not a Tyrant? I saw you hanging out for a little bit. There we go, that looks good. Apply. Okay. But yeah, it's very weird. It's like the camera's fine until I go live. Nebraska, cool. How'd you find me? Were you in chat recently? No, I don't think so. Or before? Alright, so I think what we're going to do is... Aaliyah, how you doing, Aaliyah? In the yellow app. Alright, I'm not going to... I want to do detail work on them, but I'm not going to do that because I'll get lost in the sauce. So what we're going to do is we're going to get some Abandoned Black. And we are going to paint the inside. I found your TikTok and followed your Twitch forever ago. I just happened to get the Steam notification. Nice! Very cool. Well, welcome. Just so you know, on Thursday night, this Thursday night, I am streaming a horror Christmas game. So I would absolutely love it if you were able to attend. That's cool. You found me on TikTok. Awesome. Awesome possum. Yep, it's called Christmas Story. Not that Christmas Story, but Christmas Story. And definitely give it a watch, because I think you might enjoy the trailer for it. I certainly did, and it looks interesting. My only small gripe I have with it right now is it's only WASD. You cannot play it with a controller, and I am used to playing games with controller. Yes, even on PC. It's not made for that, so I'm going to have a bit of a learning curve, to say the least. But we'll have fun. We'll have fun. We have to have fun. Your ghost stories from when you grew up and ended up on my For You page and became enthralled. Nice. Yeah, unfortunately I ran out of all the ghost stories. It makes me really sad. But thankfully, my followers, people like you, have been nice enough to share me some of their ghost stories. So that's kind of cool. Something's in. WASD game is super hard for me to grasp. Sometimes I also use control. Oh, good. I'm not alone. I was worried I'd be the only jerk. So cool. All right, let's. I definitely got to change my camera angle eventually. So I'm probably going to take a slight break during Christmas. We'll see. We will see. It's yet to be seen. Because I have graphics and things I got to work on for the show. Usually every Christmas I try to like upgrade something every Christmas break. Depending on how far we get in the horror game, I may or may not. Because Christmas Day, Christmas Day is on Thursday. It's usually the time I go live, but it's Christmas Day. However, most festivities happen literally during the day on Christmas Day. So if I get a wild hair up my butt, maybe I'll stream Christmas Day Eve, possibly. I'm not sure yet. I gotta think about it. Because historically, even with the baby, it's like, Christmas Day Eve. Perfect. Do 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 do. The champagne supernova in the sky. Perfect. So, Not a Tyrant. These are the Tuesday night shows. They're very chill. Sometimes I tell a ghost story, if people ask for it, but usually these shows are very chill. Just me painting my models, or building my models rather. And just, listening to some lo-fi. Hang on, let me clean this off. I love watching people paint, so this is definitely awesome in my book. Cool. I'm glad you enjoy. Can you hear the music okay? I'll make sure that sounds good. Huh? That's a good username. and they're gone. God, streaming is such a weird, fickle lady sometimes. Hang on, just clean off my brush. There we go. There we go. Yes, I can. It's a good volume where you talking. Perfect. Yeah, sometimes I have people tell me the volume, they can't hear the music too well, and it's like, really? I have it pretty set. Oh, ad starting on the purple app pretty soon. So this particular model here is from a company called Lethal Shadows. They do a bunch of tabletop model printing. They have like this dope ass red resin, and yeah, they're probably, I'm a huge fanboy of theirs, but definitely check them out. No discount codes, unfortunately, at least not yet, but who knows? Maybe someday if I make it as a content creator, which still sounds weird for me to say nowadays. Content creator. Ooh. Ah, thank you. Oh, we have an ad break. Yep, this from Lethal Shadows, and it's a very detailed model. I love it. Just in time for the holiday season, I think. I think I lost audio with Not a Tyrant during the ad break on the purple app. And we're back from that ad break. Yeah, so Not a Tyrant. I really love how detailed this is also. Lethal Shadows, that's all they do. They make like very amazing detailed models. And what I love about these models is how easy is the wrong choice of word. How much fun they are to paint. Because there's some models I've worked on, they're just like, they're cool to paint, but they just like suck. They're arduous. But all these models so far, I've painted him and another dude by the name of Nacho, this guy. And Nacho is a lot of fun to paint. But I took a break on Nacho so I can work on Oogie Boogie. And once I'm done with Oogie Boogie, I'm going to jump back on my commission and finish painting. Oh no, it's stuck. There we go. These lovely ladies. This is currently a done one, but I have there's a commission I'm working on for a friend. I currently have 4 more to go, and I'm almost done with this. It's a commission I've held on to for almost 2 years now. Because it's a lot of models, but it's been fun. Wish I studied enough hands for miniature painting. It's definitely a cool talent and hobby. Thank you. And honestly, it's mostly practice. Practice and patience. Hang on, let me clean my brush off. Because very recently I found some of the first models I painted like decades ago. And I'm like, ugh, what was I on? Why did I think this was good? Alright, so I'm going to have to go over some of the gold, but that's okay. Alright, so the snake in the middle is going to be interesting. I might have to repaint this snake. Which, if I do, it is what it is. Huh? Maybe not. So, not a tyrant. Tell me more about how cold is it over there in Nebraska right now? I'm assuming it's not great. Like, are you in school? What hobbies do you have? Share only what you are comfortable sharing, obviously. I am still a stranger on the internet, so only share what you want to share. Right now it's 42, but over the last 2 weeks we've had some crazy snow and ice. Jeez. And I think right now over here it's like in the 30s, like low 30s. Let me see, hang on. I mean, it's December. I'd like it to be cold in December, not, you know. My phone's upside down. Yeah, it is 29 degrees right now outside. Like I said, it's December. I want to be cold in December. Like if it's like in the 50s in December, I feel sad. I live here helping my mom out while my stepdad is deployed. I'm 24 in school for mechanics. Very cool. What kind of mechanics? I don't know anything about it, so anything you could lie to me and I'll believe you. All right. This part's gonna be kind of difficult. I think I can get to it. Let me just sharpen the brush a little more. So sharpen the brush is not a real term. I work on cars right now, mostly American made, but I want to eventually work on Ford for Toyota. Toyota's a good brand. I love my Ford Fusion. It's kept me alive and done many great things. However, my next car is definitely going to be a Toyota. Possibly a 4Runner. Possibly. Nick Schmitty. I hope this stream is not me just working on this little detail work on the wheel. Although, if it is, it would not be a stream wasted. Alright, good. Then I got in there. Like I said, I'll go back in there and work on the detail later. Clean it up a bit. Okay. So now here comes the real trick. Last time I painted this, I watered down the gold color. And I painted here on the inside so that the gold can get in that line. So now I'm going to paint over it. And hopefully that only the line shows. There's actually a museum here in Omaha called Museum of Shadows that has haunted artifacts and stuff along those lines. There's a huge paranormal scene here, so it's very cool to find. That's not the scary ghost. Hello, Scary Ghost 71. Museum of Shadows. That's not the place run by Zach Baggins, is it? God's been those lines. No, not Mr. Baggins. Yeah, because you know why? Fuck Zach Baggins. Yeah, and I used to be a huge fan of his back in the day. Like a huge, huge fan of Zach Baggins. Like, because obviously the whole ghost hunting trend started with Ghost Hunters with Taps on the Sci-Fi Channel. That's where it first started. And Taps, and it was fun to watch. It was phenomenal. It was great. And then Ghost Adventures came out, and I just liked them slightly better. I'm not sure why. Because at the time, I think their responses to stuff felt more real, you know? Then, you know, I kind of lost cable for a little bit, or, you know, we cut the cord because cable got too expensive. So I didn't watch Zach Baggins for a very long time, and I was actually missing watching Ghost Adventure because it was fun. It was fun to watch. And then we started doing YouTube TV, which gives you a travel channel to watch it. Same, him and some YouTubers sparked my love for as a kid, but now it feels very commercialized coming from him. It does. It really does. Right now, I'm a big fan of Project Fear. I love Project Fear a lot. That's why I appreciate people like you who are genuine in the way they tell stories, and you give credit where credit is due. Oh, thank you. Yeah, because my whole thing is why. You know, my whole thing with ghost stories and telling ghost stories is people aren't going to believe you anyway. So um, why spice it up? You know what I mean? Like, why add to it? Why just tell the story how it's been told? Like every single story a user has sent me or a follower has sent me, I changed up very little. And by little, I mean write it in a way so it fits my cadence of how I talk, but also, move some stuff around. Because sometimes they'll tell me the scariest bit of what happened to them in the first paragraph, and then the rest of it is just other stories that popped in their head while they're writing that first paragraph. You know what I mean? So all I do is try to change the order of things. And that doesn't mean I change like the date of when it happens. Like if something was really scary happened to them when they were 13, and then something that happened to them when they were 18 and it wasn't as scary, I don't change that. But I try to find a way to tell what happened to them when they were younger last, and when they were older first, in a creative way. Really? Gee, good. Thank you. Alright, so those lines are not coming out like I hoped they would, but that's fine. That's how we try things, right? Thank you, Not a Tyrant. You're very good at suspense, perfect storyteller voice. Thank you very much. That means a lot. If only I discovered I had this power much, much sooner. Sorry, my arm just fell asleep a little bit. Alright, I don't want this to dry. Man, it's really going to take me all night to paint the little black details on this, huh? Thank you, because I was looking, so painting Oogie Boogie, as fun as it is, it was tough, because the thing I like about Lethal Shadows, the people who made this model, is that if you've painted other, tabletop models, usually there's a color guide or something. This doesn't have it. So my only reference was the movie, but also actual like roulette wheels. Those are my only reference for what he should look like and what colors he should have. And the movie, he didn't even have like a jacket or a vest or nothing. I had to figure out what I want to do with that. Before I painted him green, he was white because I wanted to make the patchwork look like it was like burlap, and I almost turned him into the Joker. Almost. Let me get more black paint out. Let's go full screen really quick while I clean my brush. I'm gonna dry my brush off. I'm gonna have a story about that as soon as the ad breaks over, because you can't hear me, unfortunately, on that side of the stream. So, not a tyrant. I think you're almost out. Oh, thank you, Angel. Was that Angel? Angel DLTTT? To the model. You should be out of the ads right now, right? Not a tyrant? Like, you should be all set. Yeah, it's a real big delay on my side. For me, it says the ads ended like a minute ago. Oh, Ocean Avenue, nice. Hang on, let me clean this off. So you said, imagine a black light. The paint I'm actually using on Oogie Boogie, the green paint, is a fluorescent paint. It's this stuff right here, also provided by Lethal Shadows. And it looks pretty awesome under black light. And on his wheel, the blue is also fluorescent paint. And the green is the same paint that's on his body. So this whole thing glows to a degree. Like, once he's done, I gotta figure out how I want to display him. Yeah, definitely follow me on Instagram. Same name, David Weird Menace. I usually post what he'll look like tonight, like the week prior, or a week after. I mean, but my Discord, you get like it looks like as soon as I'm done. Man, it's really taking me forever to paint this fucking wheel. Jesus. Alright, we're just going to paint it. If the lines get saved, cool, and I'll just fix it later in post. Hang on, my shoulder feels funky. Thank you. And that's the thing I love about these models, particularly from Lethal Shadows, is you can paint literally anywhere. Like, you can get to every single part of the model. As long as you have the right lighting. What messes me up sometimes is like a good angle for me to see it is not a good angle for the stream to see it. So I gotta pick the right angle for you guys also. Which adds a nice little, I'm not complaining, I'm just saying it adds a nice creative challenge to it. Oof, my shoulder is giving me the run for my money. I'm very excited for the holidays. I love Christmas. Mostly just staying in with the family. Nothing too crazy. Like we usually, back in the day, So everyone else, not a tyrant in purple, asked me, "Are you excited for the holidays? Any fun plans staying in with the family?" Um, so when I was younger, the tradition was everyone would come over to my house or my mom's house, and we'd have like, just lots of food and open presents on Christmas Eve, like at midnight, and just have fun. User 385, do you still do scary? I do. I do. I may not be on people's For You page anymore because of stupid stuff, but yes, I still tell stories. Oh, they're still there. Trust me. I told a new one today from a follower. Hopefully we get some cool stuff and some nice family time. Yeah. For me, it's mostly about seeing the family. Alrighty. Oh, I love cryptids. Cryptids are awesome. Definitely something else in my up my paranormal sleeve. Do I have any cryptid stories? No, but I do love cryptids. I would say Bigfoot's probably my favorite. Yeah, if I had to choose, I would say Bigfoot is my favorite. Hands down. Alright, perfect. Okay. Now let's do the German gray for the spikes on the dice. Mothman. Why Mothman, if you mind me asking? Ignatius Sugars, hello. Welcome. I'm not sure how long you were there for. I didn't see your chat earlier, but hello. Glad you were here. I think the thought of a giant moth-like man with red eyes flying at people is ridiculous and hilarious, but if true, probably terrifying. I think most of that were cryptids. They're like very silly, but if true, fucking scary. And he's really, yeah, right, only been seen in one area, so that alone can probably lend to it being true to a degree. I mean, down there makes more sense for me. I'm just looking to see like a better, more comfortable option with painting this. Hang on. Sometimes it does hurt the shoulders just a little bit. Hope you guys don't mind if I do some light. Configure video. Of course, you open up on the other screen because why not? Because why not? There we go. Hang on 2 seconds, friends. So I want to keep them down here. We'll have to bring up the exposure just slightly. Fix the focus and zoom in just a tiny bit more. What do you think, guys? That looks good? Yeah, we'll do that for now. I'm just changing up where he is slightly because my shoulders are starting to hurt. And that should be good. Cool. Oh, perfect. I think I figured it out. There's a way to do it. All right. Now it's good. And it's clear on all screens. Depending on where you have it, like... it shouldn't be this crazy or difficult, but because I'm doing stuff for stream, so it's all your fault. Just kidding. It's a little more difficult. where I have it now, my arms are nice and rested. So in theory, I should be okay. Let me do one more thing. Hopefully it doesn't mess up the... Perfect. So one thing I learned about model painting is it's an ever-evolving science, sport, whatever you want to call it. It's always changing. There we go. Perfect, even better. And now it looks good there, more or less, and I'm more comfortable. Perfect, okay. This is a much better way to do it. Everything looks good there on screen. Perfect. All right, I think I found a better way to paint it than holding it up the whole time. So a Nightmare Before Christmas, his dice are red with like black, what do you call them, like spots? But like in here, because they're spikes rather than spots, I'm not going to make them black. I'm going to make them like this German gray, which I use a lot for my painting. Because you can highlight it really well with like another lighter gray and it looks real nice. Well, thank you. Yeah, I think it looks pretty good. So in the new year, I'm moving my office into my walk-in closet. Because my current office, my daughter's going to take, and that's to become her bedroom. So we'll be in the walk-in closet. I'm gonna see how money does, and I'm gonna try to get like a new camera for painting models. Now there's a lot of stuff I need to do. I gotta figure out if I want to do it or not for the coming new year. Eventually I'm going to need a new computer. I did future-proof this one when I built it, the one that I'm streaming off of right now. Tired Since Birth. That's a good name. But it's also tough because it seems like building a new computer is going to be very effing expensive in the coming year. Oh, thank you, Naya Tarrant. Me too. Like, it's definitely going to be a project because we have to put outlets in the walk-in closet first so I can move in there. Cool, so that looks really good. Let's back up slightly. Mostly because you cannot see my sponsor. I always open for that one. Oh, you can't see your sponsor anyway. Alright, as far as it goes. Okay. But a new camera, probably a better one that does an optical zoom rather than a digital zoom. So that means I definitely have to get like a mirrorless DSLR or something. Oh no. I think the paint's stuck. Hang on 1 second. There we go. Editirado. Alright, perfect. Wait, there's one more thing I can do. Hang on. There we go. Even better. Hang on, let me back up a little bit. So it's not as crazy. Not as crazy. Not as crazy. That should be good right there. Perfect. perfect. Do 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 do. Even with the light where it is, I always pull it towards me. Just get a better look of it. There we go. I gotta get to bed, but I hope the rest of your stream goes well. Hopefully see you in the next stream. Yeah, Not a Tyrant, absolutely. Again, Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Christmas story, ghost, haunted story things. I hope to see you there, my friend, okay? And as always, be easy, stay frosty, and may the Force be with you. Peace. I see little spots where I miss with the red. Okay. Almost done with the spiky bits. Ooh, in the end, nice. All right. Oh, there's like a spiky bit I gotta cut off. Hang on. Cut this spiky bit off real quick, and I'll get right back to it. Just go full screen. All right. Back to build cam. Right there. Ooh, that's tough actually. I don't know if I can get to that spiky bit. Not easily. Maybe through here? Barely. Yeah, there's like a spiky little artifact from the printing process right there. NY from the chai. That's a cool name. Alright, I think I got the spiky bit off. I got most of the spiky bit off. Hey buddy, what's going on? Oh, thanks, brother. Thanks, brother. Right now I'm just cutting off a little spiky little artifact from my guy here. How are you? There we go. Perfect. Put these here for now. The only spikes are left are these 6 over here, so we're going to work on those. All right. Corey joined. Hello, Corey. Nate Nobody. Hello, Nate Nobody. And again, the other beautiful thing about this model is how easy it is to get, or how you're able to get to every single piece of it. What's my name again? I didn't realize the whole thing moved like that. I shouldn't do that again. That could be really bad. Okay. Alrighty. You can always tell when it's getting later in the evening because I stopped talking as much and I'm a little beat. But one of these days, we will start going live around 8 o'clock-ish. God willing. meets nobody. Ooh, Island in the Sun, very nice. I can't believe today's been nothing but detail work. Holy shit. That's all I've been doing is this little tiny detail work on this guy. Alrighty, almost done. Excellent. It's a tough spot to get to. All right. Perfect. And let me clean the brush off a little bit. Do. Arm. Mm-hmm. Oh, snap. Okay, there we go. There we go. Jesus Christ. Now I have to go back in with the red to cover some of the spots I got the dice. Jesus H. Christ, okay. I'm actually almost done with this guy. Huh. There's a chance I might even finish in extreme. Alright, before I start sucking my own pee-pee, let me actually look at him and see what I can paint and do. We still got his weird metal things on him that we gotta do. What else? The spider. What color do we want to make that spider? I don't think I have like any cherry red, do I? I have a flat red, scarlet, and then a vermilion. Yeah, I have no idea what other color I want to make that. I feel like red will stand out pretty good. I want like a nice bright red. So let's go with... let's try vermilion. Vermilion's a nice bright red. That actually might work. Nice. All right, vermilion it is. And then what I'll do is I'll go back in there with the gnome oil to darken the parts I want to darken. Ooh, that red looks nice. It almost looks like a candy apple cherry red or race car red. That red does look good. Didn't expect it to look as good as it does. Pops really well against the German gray. Very nice. All right. That do look nice. And it dries really well too. All right, let me get back in there. Oh, the diamonds. I could paint those red also. Red and purple kind of don't match, but whatever. since I have this red out already, let's not waste it. Hang on. There we go. Actually, the red against the purple doesn't look too bad. This looks really good. Corbin B. Perfect. Okay, cool. Alright, where else do I need the red? I don't think I need that red anywhere else. That's a very nice shade of red. Black is pretty much done. You know, let's paint the back black. Why not? I don't want to add a different color. The way I was thinking about brown, but I don't want to do brown. We're a little bit of overtime, but that's okay. And next week on the 23rd, I'll try to jump on as early as I can so I can spend like at least 4 hours on this motherfucker if we have to. What was I gonna do? Paint the back black. Okay. butterfly sugar, baby. Dance macabre, huh? Nice. I'm about to go back over that with the purple. That's fine. Danny Manny, hello. That red does pop really nicely against the purple. I didn't think it would, but it really does. It doesn't even look out of place. It looks just good. Now, I might leave most of this alone. I'm not sure yet. Only because I don't want to get too close to the green and have to repaint them. So let me just do some touch up on the vest. I'm not going to pour out any new paint. Just do some touch up on the vest. Because there are some colors bleeding through. And we're going to call it a night, my friends. Yep. We're a little past the 2-hour mark. So we're going to call it in a little second. I just want to clean the vest up a little bit, just a tad, before we call it a night. perfect. I wish I was special. There we go. I almost forgot that part up there. Perfect. Wombat, wombat. Hang on. It's got a little bit more in there. Ooh, it's looking good. Alright, that looks a lot better actually. I am really glad I did clean up work on that. Alright, let me just get the collar. And we'll call it a night. Oh, perfect. Figured I already had the color out, might as well use it up. Alright, so next week we're just doing some detail work. I'm going to try to jump on early as I can on the 23rd so we can finish up Oogie Boogie. But I think we're at a good spot right now to call it a night. Alright friends, I think that is it for me. I'm going to call it here. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for tuning in. Ooh, I am beat. And I clean my floor again. But yeah, that's it for me, friends. Hope you guys had some fun tonight. Anyone who is still, in chat, hanging out. But I'm going to call a night. Remember, this week, on Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will be doing a horror Christmas game. I hope you guys can join me for that one. And we'll continue to finish painting this dude next week. I'm going to try to get on as early as I can just so I can just call him done. Anyway, friends, that is it for me. As always, be easy, stay frosty, and may the force be with you. Peace.